The Tyre Kickers Classic Car Chat with Max and Matt.
Ho ho, hello and welcome to the Tyre Kickers Big Baubled Christmas Special.
Yes, we're here to give you some respite from rowing relatives, turkey dinners and that dreary small talk. Think of us as your festive classic car safe space.
Coming up, we'll ask, could a classic get you home for Christmas? Or would an old barge turn the festive commute into a Yuletide slog?
The Tyre Kickers.
Also ahead, it's paper hats on as we find out how much we really know about our own cars. Probable answer, not a lot. But let's expose the gaps in our knowledge with a Christmas-style quiz.
And who wants socks when you could get spark plugs? If you're into classic cars, we'll give you some present ideas to save you getting tinselled tat.
All that plus your comments and corrections. So let's jumpstart the reindeer and warm up the sleigh because we're coming down your chimney with episode 46, the Tyre Kickers Christmas Special.
Finalist at the Independent Podcast Awards, this is the Tyre Kickers.
Christmas, that most wonderful time of the year. Family arguments, overeating, rubbish TV, and of course, traffic.
Oh yeah, the traffic. I've forgotten about the traffic because you're right. No Christmas season is complete without sitting in some motorway misery, is it? For about 2 hours, bumper to bumper as you try and get home or drive to see the relatives.
Exactly, because it's not normally a fun drive, is it? More of an evil commute. But could we make that must-do, or to be honest, must-we journey a little bit more fun, a bit less oh dear, and a bit more Chris Rea?
See what you've done there? We can try, Max. Here's how. I've been sat in queues on the M25 in years gone past, looking at all the sea of boring grey crossovers and EVs. I mean, cars are so dull now, aren't they? And every so often you get a sort of classy old classic waft by, like a Rolls Silver Shadow or an old Jag or a Bentley or something. And I've sort of sat there thinking, are they having more fun than me?
Yes, probably. Shocker. Rather than being sat in traffic with your family, yes, they are having more fun. But is driving an old car a pleasure in that situation? For example, what happens if there's a traffic jam, or you're under time pressure to get somewhere, or you've got that lingering risk of a breakdown just the whole time?
Yeah, well, that's the thing, isn't it? Because we all know that driving classics is very different to looking at them. We've talked about this quite a lot on the show. But you do wonder, if you had one of those cars, or if you had a classic, could you do a Christmas commute in it? I mean, dragging the wife, the kids, the dog round that evil M25 and into the Badlands of Essex, about 100 miles or so, including the evil Dartford Tunnel.
Well, you're actually talking about your own Christmas commute, aren't you here? This isn't just a route that you've plucked from the ether. This is your route.
Is this the therapy that I booked, basically? Yeah, I mean, it's a miserable journey. I have to do that commute every Christmas, and it's miserable, slushy and grey and raining and traffic
Oh, God,
jams.
he's off about Christmas. This was a mistake, to be honest, to even mention it. Because it's not a great time for you, is it? You're not exactly filled with the joys of Christmas.
No. But if I was in a nice old car, perhaps I would be. So is it possible, do you think? Would it make it?
Well, I think let's pick some cars that would actually make your miserable Christmas commute a bit less miserable. Let's just hope your family aren't listening to this, because obviously it's a commute of joy and fun.
I don't listen, don't worry. I've got better stuff to do.
Let's imagine instead of your modern car, we'll pick you a classic car that you can do that commute in to make it more interesting. But let's introduce some science here.
Okay.
Let's have some categories that we can judge our choices for Christmas classics against. So first of all, what do the cars actually cost? How expensive are they?
Right.
Then how much would it cost to fill them up?
Yeah, right.
The crucial question, will they start?
Well, yeah, that's a very good question.
What are the chances of them, say, getting fixed on the hard shoulder?
Mm-hmm.
And finally, will you arrive in style or arrive on a low loader? So there's some categories here, some science. I've put on a white jacket. I've got some test tubes and I'm going to apply some scientific rigor. So let's have a look at the first choices. I don't think you'll be surprised by my first choice, which is on your screen now.
Oh,
It's
what a
1980
surprise. Oh, here we go.
Rolls-Royce Silver Shadow. This is beautiful. Silver Shadow 2, so more reliable. It's got the silver mink exterior and the dark blue interior. Now, that is possibly the most stylish way to commute for Christmas, isn't it? A Silver Shadow.
I've heard this one more often than driving over Christmas. This You've banged on about these. I mean, that is a bit of an obvious choice, Silver Shadow. It is, and it is one of the cars that I've seen wafting
But it
by.
would be so great. People in the traffic might think you're a racist 70s comedian, but you would be having a great time in that car because it's virtually Christmas on wheels, isn't it? It'd be so comfortable and relaxing and just fantastic.
Yeah, okay. What about a 1973 Citroen SM? And look at this. I mean, it's probably not going to make it, but if you do turn up, you're going to turn up in style, aren't you?
You would look fantastic on the hard shoulder as people cruise past, saying, "What's that? That looks like a spaceship with its bonnet up."
Yeah, exactly that, yeah. Right, what else we got?
I am going to take you into the 70s and probably the most raffish, caddish car you could get. I mean, this will be going to somebody's house for Christmas, but not possibly somebody that they're married to, for example, because this is a Jaguar XJS. Now, this would be steaming along the motorway because it's a rare V12 manual. Look at that in blue with a kind of tan hide. The manual XJS. Wow. I mean, that is jeopardy, isn't it?
Okay, manual. I'm not sure about manual, but we'll come back to that. Let's throw an Italian in the mix then. And this is a bit of a kooky one. An Alfa Giulia 105. Now, that's the 60s one. Here's one from 67. Have a look at this. Probably the best way to describe it. It's the police car from the Italian Job. So that's squarish.
That kind of square, boxy shape, isn't it? Lovely, lovely Giulias.
Yeah, exactly. But Italian car, M25.
Headlights, heater, misting up.
Oh, let's pick something more reliable. Got anything German?
Yeah, you see, I think the way to do it, basically, is you're not going to arrive in too much style, but here's a 1986 BMW 525e E28 Auto. So it's the 5 Series. Fantastic car. I had one of these briefly. Lovely and comfortable. Headlights, heater. It's a BMW from the 1980s. It'll get you there.
They're not completely trouble-free. But I'm going to throw one more in the mix, and you're going to love this one. You talk about style, you can't get much more stylish. Well, you can than a Morris Minor Traveller.
No,
look, if you're going to load up the family and the dog and stick all your presents in, I mean that's going to be brilliant.
Yeah, because the presents will get woodworm because of all of that rotting wood on the back. Even in these photographs, it's just flashed up. I can see the rot on the sills already. It's rusting away before your eyes. It'll never make Christmas.
Yeah, don't worry about the rot. This one looks nice. It's a blue with the wood frame Traveller thing. So we've got our cars there. Let's just recap them. We've got a Silver Shadow, we've got a Citroen SM, a Jaguar XJS, an Alfa Giulia 105, the saloon, a BMW 5 Series, basically from the 80s, and a 1969 Morris Minor Traveller. So we're going to apply our tests to them. So let's go first. Cost. What are we looking at?
Well, the Silver Shadow's on the market for about 25 grand, which is quite a lot, but it is a Silver Shadow.
Quite a lot for a Silver Shadow, yeah.
Yeah, but it's a nice one. And also, you and I have looked at quite a couple of ropey ones, haven't we?
Yeah, that's true. We want to get there in style. Okay, so that's 25 grand. The Citroen SM, I've got to say, it's quite pricey. 60 grand. 60,000, yeah.
60,000?
Yeah. There's not that many on sale here, and a few of them have got POAs on them. But I found this one, Current Classic, 60 grand. It's probably more than we'd want to pay, but let's hopefully they've done a bit of work on it, so it might not be too bad. What about the XJS? 25 grand for the XJS?
It's a rare manual V12 early, pre-HE, that's 25 grand. But yeah, I mean, you can get them for a lot cheaper, but I think this is a particularly nice one, so 25 grand, yeah.
Why have you picked a manual to sit in traffic?
It really does unleash the V12. You know, the V12 is strangled by that 3-speed auto, and if you put the manual on, it's a really exciting sports car.
Yeah, at 5 miles an hour as you go under the gantries that are flashing 40.
Yeah, but everybody's looking at you saying, oh, it's the manual.
Talking about style, this Alfa Romeo Giulia, you might think, well, it's a bit boring, saloon boxy. This one's quite cool. It's got 2 white stripes down it, so that's cool. It's a 2000 Ti Special. That's 35,000 though, so that's quite exy for one of these, to be honest. But it does look cool. We do want to be stylish. We do want to turn heads. What about your German taxi?
Well, my 525e, the E28 BMW, is only 8,000, which is a bargain, to be honest, because you get all that kind of BMW 80s engineering and reliability for 8 grand. How many fivers are you giving for your Morris Minor Traveller? What? They want 6,950 for this.
That's 7 grand for the Morris Minor, and free rust chucked in as well. But, hopefully it's had a bit of work done to it, so it should be. It says it's a solid and regularly driven example with an MOT. So there we go. That gives you a fighting start.
Free tin of varnish with that one, I'm afraid.
So let's look at them in turn then. Let's look at the Rolls-Royce Silver Shadow, because we should preface this by saying none of these cars are perfect. We're trying to work out which one is the least likely to clap out and is going to get you there under duress and is going to make you smile at because the whole point of this is that we want to enjoy the journey a bit more. So let's look at the Silver Shadow to start with. what do we think of the advantages/disadvantages? So the advantages, it looks cool, doesn't it?
Yeah. Looks very cool. If you're looking at our criteria there, the MPG is not great on my choices, to be honest. Anyway, we'll just move on to the BMW. The Silver Shadow does 10 miles to the gallon.
But yeah, actually, I've got some news for you. It does 10 miles to the gallon when you're moving. It does. You can expect to get, I mean, I ran some figures on this before we came on. So it's a 6.7 litre V8 2-ton car with a 3-speed auto. 12 to 14 if it's moving. But in Christmas jams, 6 to 9 mpg. Okay.
So we'll take an average of 7.5, shall we?
You're 20 minutes into your journey, and what's that light that's come on? It's the fuel light. And you're going to have to pull into the motorway services. And as you know, motorway service petrol, really good value for money, isn't it? You're going to want to put premium unleaded in that, aren't you? Otherwise, it starts spluttering. Premium unleaded at the moment is about $1.70 a litre at the motorway services. The cost to fill your Silver Shadow up, empty to full, is 182 quid. Okay. And that's going to last you between 6 to 9 mpg miles. We worked out it's a 100-mile journey.
Style costs. Being that stylish has a price.
So that's going to be, you're going to have to fill it up a couple of times at least, I think.
What about your SM? Because you're not just going to have to put petrol in it, you'll have to fill it with that green fluid that's going to be seeping out of the bottom. So I mean, the MPG on that isn't great. V6 Maserati?
Yeah, that's not much better, to be honest. Real world 14 to 18, and that's going to drop in traffic into the low teens. So, it's only marginally better. A fill up on that, just looking at my figures, you're looking at 153 quid. It's a 90 litre fuel tank on that.
The pre-HE XJS, now they were thirsty. Pre-HE, they were kind of single figures, I think.
Well, you've got V12, that's 10 to 16 mpg. It's going to be single digits in jams. The straight 6 manual would have been better because that was still in sort of mid-teens. If yours is the V12, it's going to rival that Rolls. Yeah. So you're looking 6 to 9 mpg. Now the Alpha's not too bad actually. The next sort of cars ready. I think they're going to be better on MPG. So the Alfa Romeo look about 24 to 30 normally. That's going to drop down. So we'll say like 20, early 20s for that.
Yeah, 20 is not bad, is it?
Your BMW 28 to 34. It's still
it's the BMW 525e. I've picked this for a reason because it's the efficiency car.
It's still gonna be mid-20s, but compared to the Shadow, I mean, that's going to almost double and a bit more than the Shadow. So that's better. And then, of course,
you get 30s in that BMW if you slow traffic, 30 mpg.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. And the Morris Minor Traveller, 35 to 45, and sometimes more if you're gentle. So it's the only one where fuel isn't part of the drama on that one. But just in terms of filling those up as well, you're looking at, as I say, 182 quid for the Silver Shadow, 153 when you need to fill up the SM, 151 for the Jag, 119 for the 525, just 78 quid for the Alfa Giulia, and 49 quid for the Morris Minor Traveller. So in terms
I paid 49 quid not to get in that, to be honest.
So in terms of the fuel economy, I think it's a difficult one. It's between the Morris Minor because it's got such a tiny engine.
Yeah, but do you really want that 948cc or the later, what was it? It was the 1100, wasn't it? The A series. Do you really want that in front of you?
Well, I don't know. It's still cool. I know you don't think the Morris Minor Traveller's cool.
Let's move on from the MPG.
We've got to pick one though. This is the whole point of this.
We can at the end though, because I'm not picking on MPG. I'm not
you're not
going
picking
that
on
Morris Minor Traveller, whatever. I don't care what Christmas is.
Right.
What about will it start? Silver Shadow, yes.
Some of those electrics aren't great, but I think it will start.
I think it'll start. Citroen SM.
No. With a wing and a prayer, it might start.
XJS.
The electrical's a bit fragile. Lucas Electrics.
Yeah.
Rainy motorway conditions.
V12.
Dodgy earths, flaky connectors.
Headlights going.
V12.
That probably won't start either, would it? Alfa Romeo.
Not famed for fantastic electrics either. But I don't know.
I mean, it's probably going to rust before it'll fail. The engines are quite nice on those, aren't they? If they're well tuned, it'll be all right. Yeah, I think let's give that a yes. I reckon that'll start because you could get some jump leads. It's quite a straightforward engine, isn't it? Get some jump leads on it, get it going.
Yeah. BMW, yeah.
That's going to start.
That'll start, won't it?
Morris Minor, absolutely not. Absolutely no chance of getting that car. You'd have to do those old tricks of like push it down a hill and let the clutch out in gear to get it just chugging along, and then it's going to break down again, isn't it? That's a no. That won't get going. So we've got three yeses.
We'll get going.
3 no's.
You just a hater. You're a hater on Morris Minors. If that's a well-used classic, that will get going. I think. It's quite a hardy little engine, isn't it?
Okay, let's have a look at the next criteria, which is if you've broken down on the hard shoulder, which is the most likely to get fixed by the breakdown person? Which of these cars do you reckon you could get running again with a spanner and a can of fuel and a bit of WD-40?
Basically, if you've got the bonnet up and the RAC or the AA man turns up, which one is he going to go, oh yeah, I can sort that out, and which one's he going to go, you'll be lucky, mate, I'll call the low loader. Let's start with your Rolls-Royce Silver Shadow. I think it depends what goes wrong with it.
Well, there was a good, Harry Metcalf's done a good video with his Silver Shadow 1, which he took to France, and there were lots of problems with that. The wipers packed up, the wheel bearing went, and I think it used a massive 5 litres of oil. He did get home in it, though, so it did function, just without wipers and a very noisy wheel bearing. So you probably could get it going with a hammer, but obviously if it needed parts or anything more serious, I reckon you could actually, because that's pretty good, solid British engineering, isn't it? So I'm going to say, yes, you could fix that by the roadside. I
don't think you can say the same for the SM, though. I mean, if that conks out and you're on the hard shoulder and the RAC turn up,
no, low loader. Because you remember I told you a friend of mine's got one of these and it started spewing fluid on the M4 and it was just basically low loaded away because they couldn't fix it.
Yeah, I mean, it's way, way too complicated. We can move on from that one. About your Jaguar XJS, something British, but a V12, pop that bonnet up.
Yeah, close the bonnet, call the truck.
Yeah, call the truck.
That's not going to get fixed, is it?
That's not simple. What about the Alpha? I mean, it's a,
possibly,
nice little engine, yeah.
Yeah, I probably think that would actually.
Well, it depends what it is. If it's just some ignition or fuel problem, they might be able to get that going. If it's something more alpha-ish, it might not be. Your BMW, I suppose, is not massively different to a modern car, is it?
A few of the older people might have been trained on that from the late 80s, early 90s, maybe. I reckon that would get going.
Yeah, I think you're right. And the Morris Minor Traveller, I think it would depend who turns up to fix it. Whether they go, where do I plug the laptop in?
They wouldn't bother. They'd just say scrap it.
No, they wouldn't. They'd look at it and go,
scrap it and use the wood to get the fire going.
Well, that's true. You could warm your hands on the wood while you were waiting for the RAC to turn up. I think there's a good chance of getting that going, though, by the roads, especially if you've got an old school mechanic that's turned up. Okay, so where we are we arriving in style? Are we
arriving in style? Silver Shadow.
Yeah, well, that's without a doubt, isn't it?
Probably.
Although it's still got that. I know you probably think it hasn't, but it's still got a bit of two fingers up to everybody. I don't think you're going to get let in traffic in that particularly. I don't think it's not a very friendly classic car to other people, non-classic car people, because it's still got that cachet. I think most non-car people would still think that you're super rich driving that. And anybody who's probably bought one for about 10 grand is not super rich because they're spending on keeping it going.
Yeah. No, what was the fuel price on that? 182 quid for a full tank.
Yeah, and you're doing 6 to 9 miles a gallon. So you might need to have the petrol tanker following you as you're going along. So I think there's definitely style, and this is what's triggered this whole chat, is that I've seen a Silver Shadow waft past before and just think,
you could pull up at your relatives, wind the window down, they could disappear in a puff of your cigar smoke, and I think that would be stylish.
But you're chucking the keys, part of that, love.
Tell some awful mother-in-law jokes and stuff, which is what Silver Shadow drivers used to do for a living.
In terms of style, I think the SM would be more stylish to turn up with. I think the chances of it turning up are very, very slim.
But if you did turn up in that, the chances of turning up in a working SM makes you the most stylish man in the world.
Possibly. I know we think it's cool. Do you think non-car people think that's cool? Because it is a bit weird, isn't it?
Good question. I can't really think
like a
non-car person, to be honest. I can't really go there. But whoever sees that is going to realise that is a bit of Gallic charm, 70s Gallic charm. So I think that's probably the most stylish of them all, to be honest.
Your Jag XJS, well, firstly, you're going to turn up and go, oh, that's nice. And then they're going to look and go, why did you get the manual?
No, I think people would respect the manual because you would have a dead left leg having arrived at that point because those manuals are heavy. I think an XJS has still got a hint of kind of raffishness about it.
I don't think it's stylish enough, actually, to be honest. I don't know.
If you're turning up for a kind of wife or husband swapping Christmas, that would be style, wouldn't it? But it's not really a normal Christmas style, is it?
Alpha Julia 105. I think it's quite cool and quite stylish. And if it does make it, I don't think non-car people, because we're talking about relatives. Most relatives are not going to be car people. If you pull up in that, people are going to go, oh, what's that?
They'd only recognise that from watching the Italian Job on Boxing Day. They'd say that's your car outside, isn't it? That's chasing those minis.
If you turn up in your BMW 5 Series from the 80s, is that stylish, or are people going to think your car's in for service or you've lost your job?
Colin from accounts has arrived. in a very, very, very tasteless Christmas jumper.
And what about the Morris Minor Traveller? I think everybody, apart from you, likes a Morris Minor Traveller. I think it gets a smile. I think out of all that, we should have done another criteria on this, actually. Which car would somebody let you in the filtering lane? You know, when the two lanes have shut, just because they always do.
Oh, yeah, because the highways agency are out with their Christmas cheer.
Cones for everybody. Yeah, so you're going down that one lane. Which one of these cars would you get let in? I think the Morris Minor Traveller you would. The Rolls-Royce Silver Shadow, you'd be straight down the front of that queue trying to nudge in, and everybody would be like bumper to bumper trying to keep you out of that queue. The Citroen SM, they'd probably just think you're strange. The Jaguar XJS, I think it's probably got a bit of the problem that the Rolls-Royce has. Okay. The Alfa 105 might get let in. And the BMW, I think you get blocked out in that as well. But the Morris Minor Traveller, I think somebody would actually stop and wave you in.
Only somebody would think there's some kind of 60s medical emergency with a district nurse on board. No, I mean, you wouldn't take that Morris Minor realistically on a motorway, would you? So you're not going to arrive in style because you're going to be on back roads trying to see where you're going with very dim headlights.
So which one do we pick for the Christmas commute? And
can I just tell you, I've been keeping a spreadsheet about this because this is scientific, and this will be available for all scientific journals to have a look at. The winner is from this, the Silver Shadow. No, we don't think it's that stylish because people won't let you in. The SM's going to be basically, it's a paperweight, isn't it? Because it's going to be parked where you wanted to start. XJS, no. Julia, probably not. 525. Morris Minor, no. 525, I'm afraid the BMW 525 wins because it's got 4 yeses against it because it's going to start, you could fix it, you're going to arrive in relative style, and also it'll probably start in 2 or 3 days after being left alone. That's
the most boring choice of the lot, though.
Yeah.
I would say actually probably the Silver Shadow. I know it's not, on a point scoring system, but I think if you were going to have a car that had a chance of making it, I mean, you would need deep pockets. But that ticks all the boxes, I think, doesn't it?
Here's a new criteria I've just dreamed up. If you had to sit next to the driver of any of these cars at your Christmas lunch for 5 hours, which would it be? I'd want to sit next to the Jaguar XJS driver because that person would have a lot of tails, not necessarily related to the Jaguar. But if you drive a Jaguar XJS in the 1970s, 1978, you are going to be somebody interesting. So I think under that criteria, the Jag wins for me.
Well, it's episode 46, our tinsel-laden Christmas special. Still to come, we'll attempt to come up with some perfect classic car Christmas present ideas. Try saying that after a bottle of mulled wine.
But first, you'll remember last time we talked about why we don't like Fords. Now, I was reading the latest classic and sports car this week and saw perhaps a reason why. They did a very good article on Capri Specials. And this is a Capri Special. It's called a DMS Bullet. Wait for it. This was a kit car built on top of a Mark II or III Ford Capri. And I'm going to put it on your screen now.
Ugh. What's that?
It's a Ford Capri Mark II or Mark III. And they basically came up with some stick-on fiberglass panels that you could stick on your Ford Capri to look a bit like an Aston Martin Vantage. But it is absolutely awful.
Do you know what I was going to say? The front, it's got a bit of an Aston Martin look to it, but just briefly. And then you go around the back and it's horrendous, isn't it?
Well, it uses all the kind of Ford Capri lights and stuff, so it just looks wrong. And actually the fact that the panels are kind of glued on makes it even worse. It just looks like a really bad kit car based around a Mark II or III Ford Capri. And that is, for me, why I don't really like these Fords sometimes, because it's the kind of people they were appealing to. And anybody who buys a Ford kit car to make it look like an Aston Martin Vantage, it's not really what you want to be buying a Ford for, is it?
It looks like someone's made this in DT in school, doesn't it?
DT, yes, you remember.
With the acrylic bender thing that you heated up the acrylic, and the whole thing looks absolute eyesore. It looks like it's been made by sort of a 12-year-old or something. It's just absolute rubbish. You wouldn't, though, need to say, is that a kit, mate? Because you'd know, wouldn't you? Straight off from about 6 feet away.
And there were lots of kits built around Fords and stuff, and that's a bit of a problem, isn't it? Because it kind of ruined the look of Fords, I think.
Yeah, we've been talking about Fords on the last episode, lots of other stuff as well, and lots of stuff on our socials, which you've been getting involved with and talking about. I mentioned about my Stag Max. When I put the battery charger, the trickle charger on, and I wire it all up, I put a rag on the steering wheel to remind me when I jump in the car not to reverse, hot foot it out the garage and rip the thing out the wall. It's just a sort of aid memoir, because otherwise I think I know I have reversed over something in the past and I swore a lot. We asked you what other things you did as sort of memory jogs, and lots of comments on this, weren't there?
Yeah, the old car lady said, I just disconnect the battery. It's pretty simple, which reminded me of when I turned the key because it's dead, so you can't go anywhere. Here's another one. Boy Gould 2020 also says about your car, why don't you just leave the bonnet up?
Perhaps I worry about too much about these things, but I sort of would worry if I leave the bonnet propped, then it might warp. So I want to shut the bonnet with the thing attached. But then it's just a little bit of a wire coming out, which I can't see when I jump in the car. I do use my little technique to remember. And I'm not the only one. MGEE Drive 8 also has a sort of charger aid memoir. They leave the seat tilted forward. That's another thing you can do. It's just something that when you open the door, you think, why is that seat tilted forward? I know. And that's the memory jog. So yeah, something like that. I will confess that the reason I started doing this was because I had one of those very expensive wind deflector things for a Mercedes I used to own, which was propped up against the back of my Sunbeam Alpine. I came into the garage the wrong end. I can go in two ways to my garage. I came in the front end, jumped in the car, started up, and reversed over this thing. They're about 250 quid, and I heard it crunch under the wheels. And I went, yeah. Ever since then, I've always made a point of just putting something in to remind me, because it's so easy to reverse over stuff when you're in your car. Because when you get in your classic car and you're taking it out of the garage and you've not done it for a while, you're obviously concentrating on, starting it up, making it run, and then you kind of generally, I want to get the car out of the garage fairly soon before I gas the whole house out. So sometimes in that sort of haze of doing that, you forget what might be propped up against the car or attached to the car. So that's why I do it.
Yeah, I've made a huge mistake once in a Porsche 944 that I decided to reverse out of the garage with the door open to improve my vision, but I didn't realise that the door was getting caught on the edge of the garage door. So I basically ripped the driver's door off its hinges. That was a very expensive mistake.
So we asked you what other things you've done to kind of stop stuff like that happening.
Godfrey Dunn says he's wired the fuel pump switch in his Vitesse in series with a voltmeter to remind him to switch it on before driving away.
Yeah, I don't really understand that.
No, neither do I. We also talked about the Hillman Imp, specifically should it be sent to be crushed or caressed like the rear-engined overheating 60s Super Mini it was. Yeah,
Jago Brett wrote us a very thoughtful and quite long post. It was quite intelligent and probably too intelligent for this show. Here's the gist of what he said. He said, guys, my first car was a Sunbeam Stiletto, followed by a Sunbeam Imp Sport. They were fantastic little cars and just as much fun as Minis, but a little bit different. The Imp, he says, won the British Touring Car Championship 3 years running. It was also a successful rally car as well. He says they were very tunable. They had that Coventry Climax race engine we talked about. And he said compared to the Mini, it had far more potential than the A-Series engine. It just didn't have the same following.
I mean, you've summarised that because that is quite an impressive essay he's written us, and by far the longest comment we've ever had on this podcast. So thank you very much, Jacob. That was a very thoughtful, actually, argument about it. I mean, I suppose, not much room for any Super Mini against the original Mini. I mean, I remember hot Hillman Imps, but that standard cooking vanilla version it always left me a bit cold, unlike the car, which always got too hot.
Well, you mentioned Fords. Benjamin Maltby was picked up on our thing about why we don't like Fords. He said, well, fashion fades, style remains. Much as I like my Mark III Cortina, the inflated prices we're seeing now for dull shopping trolleys and executive boxes will be short-lived. We don't get that premium thing, do we, too much?
Yeah, I don't get it that people are paying £250,000 for a Ford Escort, but some people like them. Actually, I was surprised there wasn't much reaction to what we said about Fords because we pretty much slagged them off. And I thought there'd be more people defending them, but there aren't, to be honest. I wonder whether we've hit a thing here that actually the Ford bubble isn't that big. It's only a few people, and not many people have got that much affection for them. As ever, please chip on what we post and what we talk about. The best place is on our socials, and guess what? Here are the details.
You can find us at the Tyre Kickers UK on Instagram and the Tyre Kickers on Facebook.
Well, yes, it's our second Christmas special, and you'll remember last year, if you were with us, we did a quiz, and it cruelly exposed how little we knew about classic cars. So this year we're having another quiz, but about something we might know about, our own cars.
I'm quite nervous about this because last year was quite a humiliating experience, let's face it, wasn't it? So anyway, I'm going to ask Matt some questions about his Triumph Stag, and then he can ask me some questions about my Mercedes R107 SL. Now, for fairness, but mainly because it's a lot easier, we've asked ChatGPT to come up with 20 easy questions, and we both use the same word as we asked ChatGPT about our respective cars to save our blushes.
I didn't really type the word easy, but we'll see how we go.
Well, that's what we agreed.
Now
I see. I know where this is going. The most difficult questions you can get about Mercedes in original German.
I have one opportunity a year to humiliate you in front of people. So here we go. We've broken out the budget again. We've got the music from Tipping Point, and we've got the buzzer out again, Max. Is it Tipping Point that you elderly people watch during the day? I don't know. I'm at work. So
I haven't got past Loose Women yet, so...
In the style of a daytime TV quiz show, we're gonna go for it. So yeah, I've got my Triumph Stag, my 1978 Triumph Stag that I'm supposedly should know something about. And your Mercedes R107 SL, which is 1980. Remind me.
6.
Okay, who's going to go first then?
Shall you go first, actually? And then I'll ask you the Triumph Stag questions afterwards, because I'm just going to make them more difficult.
You cheat. Bloody cheat. We've got 20 questions each then. We'll fire up the music and see how many you get. Here we go. Number 1. In what year was the R107 first introduced to the public?
1971.
Correct. Number 2. How many years was it in production?
Till 89, so 18.
Correct. Name a feature film in which a Mercedes 107 SL appears.
American Gigolo.
The R107 was sold in North America as the 450 SLC 5-litre. That was so it could be used in motorsport, but what motorsport event was that done for?
Well, it did lots of motorsport. I mean, it did the World Rally Championship.
Correct. Number 5, which R107 engine variant is generally considered the most powerful from the factory?
The most powerful is the 560 SL, but that was only in America, I think, not in Europe.
Damn. And number 6, the early V8 engines that used a specific Bosch fuel injection system. What was it called?
They used 2, I think. So the early ones were the D-tronic, and then the later ones were the K-tronic.
Not quite right.
Oh.
Number 7, which R107 model was the first to use a catalytic converter as standard in certain markets?
Oh, catalytic converter. So I'm reckoning that was an American one. So I'm going to say the 450 SL. Oh.
Number 8, what common issue in the R107 steering system can lead to vague handling if it's not adjusted?
Usually the driver. Well, it's a recirculating ball, isn't it, system? So, I don't know.
You don't get a point for that then. Number 9, what temperature range should the R107's V8 typically run at once fully warmed up?
Between 80 and 120.
Wrong. The R107 was designed under which famous Mercedes designer?
Friedrich Geiger, like the Geiger counter.
Number 11, how many seconds roughly does it take for an experienced owner, not you, to remove the hardtop without a hoist? How many seconds does it take?
Seconds?
Experienced owner to remove the hardtop without a hoist.
Well, that depends, doesn't it? That depends on so many different factors. How many seconds?
Yes.
I mean, it takes me about 20 minutes. I mean, I don't know. An experienced owner, how many seconds? 120.
Number 12, what is the correct factory term for the 107 soft top colour, commonly called dark brown?
I mean, there are so many browns, aren't there? No idea.
Number 13, which metal trim on the R107 is known for pitting if not cared for?
Metal with the bumpers, chrome bumpers.
Correct. The SLC variant had a unique rear window design. What was unusual about it?
It was curved.
What rare factory option allows the soft top to be raised or lowered from inside the cabin?
What rare factory option? An electric roof. We didn't have it.
Correct. Which dashboard warning lights on early 107s famously illuminate even when nothing is wrong?
Illuminate when nothing's wrong. Well, the only one that illuminates is a park brake, isn't it? Park brake light.
Why does the cabin fan run at low speeds even when the climate control is off?
What? These are bizarre.
Number 18. Where is the most common place for water to leak into the boot?
Into the boot?
Yes.
Around the seals at the back.
Or the rear light gaskets. Which job is more notorious for skinned knuckles, blower motor or spark plugs?
Well, it depends which engine on the spark plugs, isn't it? Because the straight sixes are quite easy. So I'm going to say the blower motor.
And finally, number 20. What is the most overlooked lubrication point that smooths the roof mechanism?
Overlooked lubrication point?
Where are you putting your grease? Where should you put your grease?
There's so many places to do it. There's like 16 points to grease a roof.
So at the end of that, you scored 10 out of 20.
So could we have when are we going to do the answers on?
Do you care about the answers?
Well, they were just weird, so yeah.
Okay, the ones that you didn't get right. You mentioned that the fuel injection is actually called the Bosch D Jetronic.
But I said the D-Tronic.
You D-Tronic. No, it's not what it says. It says Jetronic here. Should I give you that one?
I think so, yeah.
As it's Christmas, I'll give you that. So it's like 11 out of 20 we're up to now. Okay.
Good. I can argue all these, can I? My lord.
Number 7 was difficult. Which one used a catalytic converter? We'll blame ChatGPT for that because it was a 380 SL, that one. What common issue in the steering system? It's the steering box or idler arm drag link where... I didn't expect you to get that right.
No, I don't know that.
Now, you said about the temperature that a V8 should run at. You said 80 to 110. It's not. It's 80 to 90. And I've got to take your first answer, unfortunately. How many seconds?
Come on. I should get half a point for 80.
You don't get half a point. Well, yeah, go on then. It's Christmas. Half a point. So that puts you up to 11 and a half now. You were right with the Friedrich Geiger. Friedrich Geiger.
I don't know how you pronounce it, to be honest. Yeah.
Friedrich Geiger. Yeah, you're right with that. How many seconds does it take an experienced owner to remove the hard top? 20 seconds.
20 seconds to get that off? It weighs about 75 kilos. No chance.
No, I've taken one of those off. There's no way that takes 20 seconds.
No chance.
No chance. And so you said 20 minutes. I think that's
which is about right.
Because
you've got to put rags on the back to stop it scratching, and you've got to go round and unlock it and blah, blah, blah.
Oh, it's such a faff, isn't it? And then there's that cable in 107 that always stretches, the release cable.
Oh, yeah. And, of course, you've got to unplug the heated rear window as well, which everybody forgets and then rips it out.
Yeah. This is rubbish. I've got to say ChatGPT is not necessary. If you use ChatGPT a lot, do question it, because it does make stuff up. It was trying to tell me that Princess Diana drove one, and that was rubbish as well. So then I said, well, no, Princess Diana didn't drive one. It went, oh, yeah, you're right.
She drove the R129, didn't she?
She did, so that didn't get in. This question 12, I think this is a bit unfair as well. It says, what's the correct factory term for dark brown? And it says dark brown, 8023. So I don't think that's... So, I think I'm going to be generous. I'm going to give you another point for that, because I think there's no way you got that. Some of the other ones, what dashboard warning lights famously run out is brake pad wear light or coolant light. Apparently they have a habit of just flashing up for no reason whatsoever. Okay. And the reason that the cabin fan runs at low speed is to prevent fogging via default low ventilation.
Right. That sounds like a phrase from the owner's manual that nobody reads.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? This is basically what it's read. So at the end of that, you've got 12.5 out of 20, which is not too bad.
Right. Okay, here goes.
Oh, God, here we go.
So, number 1, are you ready?
Bring it on.
Are you sitting in the black chair?
Yep.
What's your specialist subject?
Not the Triumph Stag.
What was the engine configuration of the Triumph Stag?
3-litre V8.
Half right.
What?
Engine configuration, a 3-litre 90-degree V8.
Oh, well, okay. That's still a point.
Half. The Stag V8 was created by effectively combining 2 engines from which Triumph model?
From the Dolomite.
No. The Triumph 1500 Slant 4.
Oh, I was going to say Slant 4.
But you didn't, so there you were wrong. Which famous Italian designer styled the Triumph Stag? Easy.
It's Michelotti.
Which unique structural feature compensates for the missing roof?
Rust? No. The T-bar.
T-bar, yeah. Which fuel delivery system did the Stag use originally?
Was it Shell stamps? No. Manual, I don't know, manual fuel pump?
Twin Stromberg CDSE carbs.
Oh, God, yeah, of course they do.
What was the... sadly, didn't say that,
No,
though,
I didn't say that.
So that's still wrong, isn't it?
At the wrong end.
What was the standard gearbox on early Stags?
Ooh, 4-speed.
Yeah, but which type?
4-speed overdrive.
Yeah, but which type of gearbox?
One with gears.
Oh,
Manual.
rare. Got there in the end. Which automatic gearbox was fitted?
Borg Warner.
Borg Warner Type 35 apparently, but you can have that.
Or 65.
What is the main cooling issue causing early failures?
Oh, how long you got?
Exactly.
There's several. The main issue. Oh God. What's the main one? It's the water level. It's the main one.
This is a bit of an odd answer because it says poor coolant circulation and airlock. So yeah, I mean it's bound to be. That's going to be the feature
It's
of it.
coolant, isn't it? Yeah.
You can have that. Yeah. What timing drive did the Stag use?
It's a chain.
But what type of chain?
Don't know.
So that's wrong. That's duplex. What's the power output when new?
Only marginally better than it is now. Power output. It was about 140 brake horse, I think.
145. You can have that. Yeah. This is weird. I'm not even going to name the supplied hardtop.
Hardtop.
Then it just says detachable. What is the rear suspension type?
Oh, McPherson.
Independent with semi-trailing arms.
Oh.
What is the year that the Mark II Stag first appeared?
73.
Spot on. What is the front-end visual change on a Mark II?
The badge changed from grey to black.
It says black grille frame.
Yeah, that's the same.
Total Stag production?
Oh, it's about 35,000.
25,000.
Oh.
What is the component causing hot start issues?
The engine? It's the Strombergs, I suppose.
It says ballast resistor ignition.
No idea.
What's the recommended coolant concentration?
50-50, blue coal.
33%.
Oh.
Which Triumph model donated the dashboard, or the dashboard design, I'm guessing that means.
Triumph 2000.
Yeah. What is the badge below the indicator?
Badge below the indicator?
Yeah.
On what? Where?
It's on the wings.
Oh, on the wings? It just says Stag.
It says the V8 emblem. I think on the early ones they did have V8 on the wings, didn't they? What is the 0 to 60 time when new?
I'm going to say 13 seconds.
9.3 to 9.5. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and a half.
Okay, well,
I mean,
it's not that great.
I gave
Some
you
of
that
them are a
weird
bit
one
weird.
saying name the supplied hardtop, detachable hardtop. But yeah.
Some of those are a bit weird. Some of those I should have got if I'd have thought about them. I did that. I did like my kids do. They don't listen to the question properly. I should have got the Strombergs because I know it's Stromberg carburetors. I should have got a couple of those right, but they're a bit odd, those ones.
They are a bit odd. I think we won. AI lost.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, I think it did. It seemed like a good idea until we put it into ChatGPT. It's gone a bit weird, isn't it? But at the end of the day, and this will make you happy at Christmas at a time that you're normally quite miserable, you've won with 12.5 points.
So the last time opening a Christmas present was really fun was in 1977, when I got a toy garage set including petrol pumps, a service area and a wind-up lift. These days, socks just don't have the same magic. So time to put that right with our festive suggestions of presents for the petrol head.
I think I had that garage too. Was it the Fisher-Price one with the...
Yeah, it was, exactly. It had a little wind-up lift on the side so you could take cars from the service area to the sales area. Do you remember that?
Yeah, that's right. What would be the modern version of that now? Would there be a Tesco Express on there, wouldn't there? There'd be a lot of people doing their shopping while you're trying to fill up with fuel. Yeah, they were cool though. I do remember that quite vividly. Well, to correct those years of disappointment from 1977 onwards, here's a present I bought you. We set a task buying each other a Christmas present. So let's have our big Tyre Kickers Christmas present opening session with the gifts we got each other, and then we'll come up with some ideas that actually are probably better. So do you want to go first? You see, I've taken a long time wrapping it up. My mate Jeff Bezos wrapped this up in his warehouse.
Listen to this. I'm actually going to rip this open. I'm very excited about this. Well, actually, I'm not, because I know you, but at the same time, I kind of am.
There's a message in it.
So get lost. Oh, I see. So this is a book, and I looked at the rear cover and I thought, what's that? But actually, the front cover is How to Stop Mansplaining, the gift of knowing when to zip it.
Now, most books you get at Christmas, you go, oh, that's nice, and you don't read. Please, can you read this?
So this is it, mansplaining, that delightful cocktail of confidence, unsolicited expertise, and the uncanny ability to repeat exactly what someone just said, only louder and with more hand gestures.
It's a friendly bit of advice wrapped up in
thanks,
Christmas
not that
present.
friendly. I get the hint.
Now, I've got your beautiful thing here, which has also been wrapped up in cardboard at a warehouse somewhere in Milton Keynes. So some of it. See if I can open this as well.
Now, this is a very exciting part for your car. It's a missing part for your car.
Oh, okay.
You've been missing this
Is
for
it
a
a
while.
water pump?
I've been quite worried about this because you really do need this to have the true Triumph Stag experience.
Well, I've not seen what it is yet, but I've pulled out a docket of packing slip from a well-known Stag parts supplier.
Exactly.
Let's
No
have a
expense
look.
spent.
Let's have a look at this. Well, yeah, I can see what you spent on it. Pretty big spender. Right, so what I've got here is a packet.
I hope you're excited. You should be.
Oh, God. I'm not sticking those on.
You are. The problem with your Stag is because when it was restored, on the two wings, on the front wings of a Mark II Stag, they should have British Leyland badges on both of the wings, and yours doesn't. So what I've done is I've bought you those period correct British Leyland badges to go on the wings of your car.
They are nice. They're the little metal badges with British Leyland and then that lovely Leyland roundel, which is on my pedals, which I don't mind too much because I put my foot on my pedals and I can't see it.
Because you can't see it.
Yeah, but you're wanting me to stick these on.
Because that makes it factory correct. Now, there's a problem here because your car is not in a factory colour, so you'll have to have the car resprayed first, but then you can put your BL badges on it, on each wing.
Well, I think it looks better that it's not in the factory colour and it doesn't have these on. But
you can't deny what it is. You need to embrace the kind of great BL heritage of your car.
This is very kind of you. That's a very thoughtful present, and it's nice that you're buying something that will keep the good name of British Leyland going so that everybody can see. Do you think anybody would be in any doubt that that's a British Leyland product then that I'm driving?
Not if it's on the hard shoulder, no. Has it got the invoice there? How much did I spend on your present?
Yeah, it's quite a lot, actually. $21.60.
And I'm just looking at the back of your book. I think it's £1.99 from a charity shop.
You don't give to receive, and you don't receive to give, or whatever the expression is. And it's not about it's about the thought that's gone into it. And
I know the thought. The thought from you to me is to shut up
your face. Well, let's have a look at some presents that you can actually buy. Because the problem is, do you have that? There's always that thing a couple of months before Christmas, Max, where people start saying, what do you want for Christmas? So-and-so's asking me what you want for Christmas. My natural reaction is say, look, I don't want anything because I can just buy stuff. Tell them not to worry. And then you get random stuff, don't you? So I think if you need to, we're looking at two scenarios for these present picks. One is things you can get if you've got a mate who's into classic cars. And the other one is things you can suggest to your family and friends that don't buy you socks or novelty stuff that you don't want. So what have you got? Have you got some present ideas?
I have. And first up is this, which I think every classic car owner should have. Possibly, actually, that should be a fire extinguisher, but that's not very Christmassy. So this is a Leatherman Rev. So this is a Leatherman. You know, everybody loves a multi-tool, don't they? So this is a Leatherman designed for cars. It's on your screen now. And pretty much that's got loads of tools that you can use to fix your car with any roadside problems. More importantly, it's got a pouch that you can put it on your belt so everybody knows you've got a Leatherman that you can fix your car with. So that is a very, very, very practical present to give somebody. I've got a Leatherman, to be honest. I've had it for about 25 years and it's fantastic. Not just for car stuff, just for anything stuff. So I think a Leatherman is a great, great gift. $44.95 that. I think that's pretty cheap for what you get.
Please don't start wearing that on your belt. I think if
it's on now.
If I see that on your belt, I'm going to know it's a cry for help. You've lost all sense of style. I think that they are very useful. We used to work with a lot of cameramen. They'd always have these, wouldn't they?
They'd always have competitions about who had the best one, didn't they?
Yeah, that's it. Oh, I've got that one. I mean, it's the Swiss Army knife of pliers, essentially, isn't it? Because it is like a Swiss Army knife. But this is quite useful, and I could carry this rather than the tool bag that I carry around the back of my car. But
we're not going to use either of them, to be honest, apart from dialing the AA or the RAC.
It's a nice present. It's quite handy for everything, from opening the beers, which you'll probably want after you've sworn at your classic car and not got anywhere with it. So yeah, that's a very nice present. And something like that is a bit of quality, isn't it? I mean, you're going to keep that. It's not going to be a novelty. You're going to keep that for a
the
few years.
The thing about these Leathermen is that, there's nothing to go wrong, essentially. So all you got to do is oil it every so often, and you can keep it for life. What are you getting? What's your next present?
Before we move on, I'll just say, if you want the link for that, just be very, very careful how you type in the words Leatherman, because you might not get what you want. So just be very careful with Google. That's what I say. Maybe don't Google it at work.
What's your next present?
Well, I just think what would be nice to have on your desktop to remind you. I found this engine piston table lamp on
Etsy. That's nice.
Have a look at that. And it's made out of, I don't think it's genuine pistons, but it's made out of 2 pistons. One piston's got the light in, and then there's the connecting rods, the con rods down to a bottom piston, which is a little sort of weight. And I think that's quite cool, isn't it? 78 quid. 78 quid on Etsy. There are cheaper ones, but this one looks like it probably won't fall over.
But that's like a kind of angle poised lamp made out of a piston. So that's a really nice idea. I really like that.
I quite like that. Can you got the receipt for these BL badges? Can you take those back and buy me that instead?
Well, I'd get closer to it than you would with a mansplaining book for $1.99. So next up, and I've really liked this idea. I've seen it in a few magazines actually, and it's advertised around Christmas, which is your life in cars. So basically, you email a company that can put pictures of all the cars you've owned. So basically, you tell this company what car you've owned since the first car to the last car, and they put them all in a picture at the right colours for you to hang on the wall. And actually, it gives you this great memory of what cars you've had. It's called Your Life in Cars. It's been around for a bit, but I really like that idea of being able to see your car history on the wall. And it will throw up so many good memories of what you've driven and where you've been. I think that's a really cool idea.
Yeah, I really like that. So to just describe it, it's a big, long, rectangular frame with just small illustrations of cars, basically starting on the left and going through all the different cars. I mean, there's 16 on this particular one. Your one, you need to put it down the side of your house, wouldn't you? Because how many old bangers have you had?
I could have a car per decade, to be honest. I mean, I've never actually kept count, but it would be great to go back to those favourite cars, because they can have them in the colour, they can have them with the registration number that you had. Go back to those cars and just have memories of them, because so many have gone to the scrapper that actually it'd be nice to sort of bring them back to life.
Yeah, it's a really nice keepsake, that, and it's something that's obviously very personal to you, and it's quite a nice memory jog, and that'd be a nice one for the downstairs loo or something. That's yourlifeincars.com if you want to have a look at that. Talking of old cars and things that sort of jog your memory, I used to love, and I still do, those old ads that used to get in the colour supplements for cars, because they're from a time you don't really see car ads like them. They used to have a sort of a bit of copy and usually one picture and then a bit of quirky copy. Some of them, though, you wouldn't be able to get away with now. There's
probably this one included.
Yes, MG Midget ad from 1970, which is in a frame. It's 37 quid on Etsy. MGB and MG Midget had their famous campaign, Your Mother Wouldn't Like It. And it had a sort of a woman draped on it, didn't they? Looking sort of suggestive. This one, you can't get any more 70s suggestive. It says 85% of MG Midget owners are men. And in the picture is a shot of a woman in a short sort of maxi dress with her hand quite provocatively on the handbrake. But these are of a time. You wouldn't get away with it now. You could get something that's a little bit more PC maybe, but I think that's quite a nice keepsake to put on a wall. I think anything that is period from your car. I mean, I've got an old Sunbeam Alpine ad above me while I'm talking here, which is from the 60s. It's so period, So stuff like that is good, and I think that's the sort of present I would like. And for 37 quid, I think that's not bad.
Now, here's something I think that you and I could do together over a bottle of wine, or maybe 2. If you look on your screen now, this is basically, it's a toy, but it's a toy V8 engine kit. So basically you get all the component parts of this kit, and then you have to build a V8 engine, which would be quite useful for you to see what's inside your V8. It's not slanted at 90 degrees, but we could always do that on the table, couldn't we? But actually, what a great toy this is, because it could be for kids, but it doesn't have to be. You can be an adult and do this, and you and I could sit there over the kitchen table with a drink, assembling a mini V8, and have a great laugh over that, couldn't we? I think that's a really good idea to do with some of your car friends. You assemble a mini engine. At the end of it, you have a kind of working kit. Yeah,
this is $59.99 on wonderlandmodels.com. I'm not normally big on sort of model stuff, but I think that would be quite fun. I was thinking actually you could develop it further. If they did a Triumph Stag engine, it would be a cross between this kit and Buckaroo, wouldn't it? Because basically you'd put it together, and if you didn't do it right, it would just blow up. Or it would overheat. Yeah, so it could be, like Operation, or maybe like Operation, if you didn't connect it right, it would overheat and melt. But yeah, so this is basically, you make, as Max says, you make a V8 model. I think I'd probably just drink the wine and watch you do it. But yeah, it'll be fun. What an exciting prospect for 2026. Let's build a model together. Thanks for that.
Listen, I can't tell you how to do it because I'd be mansplaining, wouldn't I? So I wouldn't be allowed. I'll just have to sit there mute.
Yeah, we'd have to zip it, wouldn't you? Let's jump to my last one, which actually is a jump pack. Now, I don't know. I've got one of these in the back of my car, and I don't know, if you think about jump packs, traditionally, they've always been quite large things that get your car going. But I've had one of these for the last couple of years, and I don't know if you're aware of how small these have got. I mean, they're not much bigger than a sort of mobile phone charger, power bank thing. But I think it's a really useful thing to have in the back of your car. And it's like a talisman, really. If you have a charged one of these power banks to start your car, hopefully your car then normally starts. That's the thing. It's only when it's not in the car. And I have used these, but they're very, very small. I mean, have a look at this one. It's on Amazon. It's 30 quid. And I think if you've got a classic car, the peace of mind having a fully charged one of these.
Yeah, that is good. I mean, I haven't got this make, but I've got one make in the back of my car, which I've never used on my car, interestingly, but I have used on other people's cars, and it does get them going. It's got that kind of like small jump pack. It's just enough to give it a kick and get it moving.
Yeah, and they're just so small now. They used to be, it was only 10 years ago, these things were massive, weren't they? And you needed to sort of, carry them around like an old, those old phones when the mobile phones first came out.
Oh, yeah, with the proper bricks.
Yeah, they were like a lot of battery with a, car battery with a handle on. These are now really small, so you can zip them up. And I think for 30 quid, the peace of mind having that in the back, because if you haven't charged your battery, or you do go flat, or you do go overnight because you've taken your classic car away for Christmas, just having that in is just a whole heap of things. That's $29.98. It's on Amazon. I'm sure you can buy it from somewhere else, not from Amazon. Out of those presents, I'd be happy to get probably most of those, actually. I mean, the model, not so much, but you can have that. I think the Life in Cars thing is good. The Leatherman's going to be useful. The model's fun. The piston table lamp, I think I might buy for myself as a little treat.
Newsflash, you're not getting any of those because you've just bought me a really cheap book for Christmas, so you won't be getting near anything of that. If anything, I think I'd probably take Your Life in Cars, actually, because I really like that kind of idea, and it would be one of those, constant reminders of the fun you've had in classic cars.
So that's it for this festive edition. We're now off to stuff our faces with chocolates out of the big tin, eat cheese, and argue with some relatives.
The Tyre Kickers.
We'll be back next year, but thanks for listening and your support this year. Happy New Year. And in the meantime, Matthew, I'll be round on Christmas Day with a paper hat and a half-drunk bottle of sherry. Oh, and don't forget, Brussels sprouts make me fart.
And there was me thinking it was the dog. Happy Christmas. Bye.
Goodbye. It's all down here from hell. I can see, I can't even say it. The sherry's kicking in.